Morning, namaste to each of you. Thank you for joining me this morning to honor your mind and your body and your spirit. Let's just take a moment to get nice and comfortable with a nice seated position, allowing the back of your spine and the back of your neck to sit nice and long and tall, opening up your chest, opening up your diaphragm, and opening up your heart. Gently close your eyes and soften your thoughts. Soften your eyes. Soften your shoulders. And soften your heart. Observe your breath as it is, soft and gentle, breathing life into you with each inhale, and relaxation with each exhale. Feel the grace of being present, returning to that awareness again and again. You may open your eyes now. For this morning's intention, you may think of a positive word or phrase to have with you on your mat and perhaps carry with you throughout the day. This morning's intention I'd like to talk about is actually, it's the lyrics from a song titled, "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas." And I think it's a great intention either for your mat today or off your mat. And I'll read the lyrics to you. Maybe you'll see what I mean. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years, we all will be together, if the fates allow. So hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. So those lyrics are from the song "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas" by Hugh Martin and Ralph Blaine. So for this morning's pranayama, our breathing technique, we're going to do Kapalabati. And today it's also going to be known as ho, ho, ho breath. So normally with our breathing, our inhale is active and our exhale is more on the passive side. With Kapalabati or ho, ho, ho breath, this breath is reversed using your stomach muscles to blast air out your nose, typically. Or this morning, what we're going to do is blast it out our mouth. And this energizes the whole body, and we're going to need it today. So let's just do a few ho, ho, ho's with Kapalabati. So you may want to start just traditionally with, again, your stomach muscles will be blasting. So you're going to do the exhale, inhale passive, and exhale is more active. And then we can switch it over to our ho, ho, ho. Ho, 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 ho. So I hope you're all nice and energized. I'm going to take one last sip. And I'm going to meet you on the mat. So this morning is our annual Christmas yoga, and there's a little story that goes along with this class. So we start off in Whoville with the young and the young at heart enjoying the Christmas season. So we'll start off in a nice, comfortable seated position, legs crossed or side by side, fingertips on the mat. And then inhale up, and then exhale out through your mouth, pretending you're outside and seeing your breath because it's so nice and cold and frosty out. Inhale up, and then exhale. Try to envision your breath in that frosty air. Inhale up, and exhale. One more time, inhale up, and exhale. And then the young and the young at heart are all in their flying saucers, and we're going to be going down the hill and twisting and turning as we go, putting your hands in a fist alongside you, not necessarily touching the mat. We're just going to sweep our hands across with a flying, like we're holding on to a flying saucer and going down the hill and turning and twisting and just really kind of loosening up our spine. And then enjoying nice frosty air as we go down. And then we'll come back to neutral, and we're going to roll down on our backs. So you can use your roll down any way you'd like. You can have your knees bent and slowly go down, or your knees straight and slowly go down, feeling one vertebrae at a time. Or if you want, you can tuck up like a snowball, because we're going to end up there anyways, and just roll back. So bring your knees to your chest when you come down to the mat, and tuck in and give yourself a nice hug and rock back and forth, just like you're making a snowball base for a snowman. Roll, roll, roll. And then we're going to put our left foot on the mat, and we're going to bring our hands down to our right foot. Our right knee is toward our chest. And we're going to put our socks on. We're going to send our foot up to the sky as we put our socks on. So we're going to pretend we're sliding our socks on by sliding our hand up to our knee and extending our foot flexed so that the sole is facing the sky, up to the sky. We'll do that again. Tuck your knee back to your chest. Bring your hands down to the bottom of your foot and just slide them along your leg, lifting your foot up to the sky. The sole of your foot is up to the sky. Nice stretch there. And then we're going to bring that leg down to the mat and extend our left leg down to meet it. Coming into reclined mountain pose. And bring your arms up above and over your head, and give yourself a nice stretch. And then we're going to make snow angels. So we're going to bring our hands and feet out and make your best snow angel. You can slide your hands and feet along the floor, or if you want to work on your core muscles, you can lift your feet just a little bit off. You can really feel that in your core. And then bring everything back to reclined mountain pose. We'll slide the sole of our right leg up the inner part of our left leg till it reaches our knee. Our legs are forming a figure 4. And then we'll bring that right ankle, placing it on top of our left leg, right above the knee. And then bring our left leg up so the left foot is on the mat. Our right knee is pointing to the right side of the mat. And this is the reclined pigeon pose. But what we're going to do is we're going to make it into an elf on the shelf. So we're going to raise our left leg up so that it's at a right angle. Wrap our hands around the back of the left thigh. And we'll just think about where that elf is hiding in the house. We just take in a nice gentle stretch here. You can guide that knee closer to your chest if you want a little bit more of a stretch. And then we'll release the legs. We'll go do it all on the other side. So bring our knees back to our chest, creating that nice snowball, rocking back and forth, kind of rocking and rolling, creating a nice big snowball. And then we'll put our right leg down on, or right foot down on the mat. And we'll put our left, our hands on the bottom of our left foot. And we'll slide that all the way up, extending our foot up to the sky. So the sole of our foot's up to the sky. And then we'll have our socks on. And then, I don't know if I said it the last time, we'll do it again, putting our boots on. But bringing that knee back to our chest. Bringing our hands back down to our foot. And then sliding them along the sides of our legs, extending our foot up to the sky, this time putting our boots on. And then bringing that left leg all the way down to the mat, extending our right leg down, coming into reclined mountain pose. We'll send our hands over our head, give our whole body a nice big stretch. And then we'll make snow angels from here. So again, you can slide your hands and feet along the floor, or if you want a little bit more core workout, you can lift your heels up ever so slightly, trying to keep that navel tucked to your navel, or tucked to your spine. And then back to reclined mountain. We'll slide the left foot up the inner part of the right leg, bringing our knee and legs to a figure 4 position. And then put the ankle on top of the right leg, just above the knee. Figure 4, and bring our right foot up. So we're in reclined pigeon. And then for the elf on the shelf, we'll just interlace our hands behind our right thigh. Our right leg is at a right angle. Both feet are flexed up to the sky. We can think about, again, where is that elf hiding in the house today? Guide that right leg toward you if you want a little bit more stretch. And then we'll release the legs, bringing the knees to the chest. Again, nice big snowball hug. And we're going to tuck our hands underneath our knees and keeping the snowball position. We're going to roll up to a seated position. So kind of work on your rolling of the snowball until you're able to come all the way up to a seated position. So coming into tabletop, we'll go on with our story. So in the meantime, while the young and young at heart in Whoville are enjoying the outdoors, up in the North Pole, Santa's reindeer are getting ready for their journey to Whoville. So coming into tabletop, our wrists are right below our shoulders, hands are spread out, knees are right below our hips, navel's tucked to our spine. And Santa's reindeers are going to do a little bit of warm up because they have a long ways to go to Whoville. So we're going to do some cat-cows, sort of round the back on the exhale, dropping our head and tailbone down. Then inhale, lifting our head and tailbone up, sending our gaze straight ahead. And then round the back again for cat. And then lift our head and tailbone up for cow. Inhale, or exhale rather, for cat. Inhale for cow. And just continue as the reindeers will to loosen up. As they're flying through the sky, they're going to need all that flexibility. Just a few more. And then we'll come back to tabletop. So we're going to extend our right leg down to the bottom of the mat. And then bring the right foot over off the mat to the left. And Rudolph is going to look back, send his gaze back to the foot, but also send his gaze back to check on his fellow reindeer and Santa, see if they're ready to start their flight. So gently look back to your foot, check on your fellow reindeer and Santa. And then bring that right leg back to tabletop. Knees are right below your hips. Reassess your hands. You're pushing down a little bit into your hands, so you're creating space between your shoulders and your ears. Even distribution of weight in your hands. Then we'll send that left leg down to the bottom of the mat and send that left foot over to the right side of the mat. And again, Rudolph's going to check on his fellow reindeer and Santa. They seem to be all set, all ready to rock. And then bring that left leg back to tabletop. We're going to bring both knees together. We're going to send our right leg out. Again, keep that equal distribution of weight in your hands. Send the left arm out straight. Hands are pointing. So we're going to do naming the reindeer, bringing our elbow and our knee together. So we're going to come on the on, elbow to knee, extend the hand and the leg, on dasher, on, bringing elbow and knee together, extend, dancer, on, knee and elbow together, extend, prancer, on, coming together, extend, vixen, and then bringing both hands and knee down. We'll go to the other side. So again, equal distribution of weight in your hands, pushing down, creating that space, extending your left leg out, extending your right hand out, and then on, bringing your knee and elbow together, on Cupid, on, knee and elbow together, Comet, and then we'll bring knee and elbow together, Donder, on, and Blitzen. Then bring both hands and knees back down. So they head up to Whoville, And as they head off to Whoville, the Grinch is actually getting ready to visit Whoville too. So at the Grinch's quarters, he's getting the sleigh ready with Max, the dog, and we're going to tuck our toes under and come into a downward dog and just pedal out here. This is the Grinch's sleigh with Max sitting up on top. You just pedal out here for a moment. Your hands, have your fingers spread wide apart. Arms are straight. Chest is reaching toward your thighs, elevating your hips. Knees are gently bent, or you could be pedaling with your knees bent. Nice stretch here. And then we're going to come into a plank pose from here. And this is us as Grinch going down the hill. So we're going to go from downward dog to plank, back to downward dog, pedal out, back to plank, and then back to downward dog, pedal out. And we're careening down the hill, back to plank, and back to downward dog. And then as we're coming down the hill, we reach the edge of the cliff. So we're going to bring our right knee to our right elbow, pushing off with our left toes and looking over the edge of that cliff. And then back to downward dog and pedal out again. And then we're careening down the hill some more, coming to the other edge of the cliff, bringing our left knee to our left elbow, pushing with our right toes, looking off the edge of the cliff, and then back to downward dog again, pedal out. And then come back to plank. And then we're going to chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, gently down to the mat. So with our elbows tucked to our side, come down to the mat, slide our hands to the front of the mat, coming into Sphinx pose. So our elbows are right below our shoulders, hands are reaching toward the front of the mat. Tops of our feet are nice and comfortable in the mat, giving some tension there. And we're going to take the rest of the way to Whoville on this toboggan that we just created. So you can rock and roll as if you're on a toboggan, continuing sliding into the village of Whoville. Let's take a few moments here. And then regaining so much speed, it's almost as if we're flying. So we're going to bring our elbows out and bring our chin down to the mat. Our hands are alongside our torso with the backs of our hands down on the mat. And we're going to do a half locust. So we're going to lift our right leg up and then bring it back down, keeping our hip bones, our pelvic bones on the mat. Lift the left leg up and bring that back down. And then we're going to lift both hands and legs up as if we're flying down the hill, coming into the village of Whoville. And then bring those back down. And we're going to bring our hands right below our shoulders. Elbows are tucked to our side, pushing down, come up into cobra. And then come up all the way into tabletop. And the tabletop, we're going to bring our hips back down to our ankles, and slowly come down into child's pose. And this is little Cindy Lou Who and her bed, sound asleep. We'll just take a rest here for a moment. And then come back up to tabletop. Tuck our toes under, walk our hands back, coming into a squat. Or on the balls for our feet, and we push down into our feet, come up to mountain pose. So as little Cindy Lou Who sleeps below in her child's pose, up on the roof, Santa and the Grinch have converged. So Santa, being the nice guy that he is, he's going to teach the Grinch how to come down a chimney. So what Santa says to the Grinch, first off, is you need good posture. So our mountain essentials, good posture, is what Santa's going to teach the Grinch first. So we're going to come into mountain pose. Feet are about hip width apart. We're going to lift our toes up off the mat and then send them down. Lift our heels up off the mat and come back down. Legs are nice and straight and strong with a gentle bend in the knees. Navel's tucked to the spine. Shoulders are relaxed and rolled back. Spine and back of the neck nice and long and straight. Crown of our head reaches up to the sky. So much so that if you take a string and pull it up like a puppet, and then take that puppet and drop it down the chimney, it'll go nice and straight. So let's go down the chimney. Sweep our hands up overhead. Big inhale. And then exhale, bringing our hands down to the mat, down to the floor. We're coming down the chimney and landing at the bottom of the chimney with our knees bent, supporting our lower back. And we're going to look around, see if anybody saw us. Nope, we're good. Inhale, bring our hands to our shins, flattening out our back. Nice gaze straight down, half forward fold. Again, we're going to just gently turn our head to the right. Check out, see if anybody's watching. And then to the left. Nope. And then send the crown of our head down and look behind us. Our legs are about hip width apart, so we can see between our legs. See if anyone's behind us. Nope. We're good. So we're going to sweep our hands all the way up overhead. Big inhale, hands come together. Hands come to heart center. Hands come to the back of our hips. Fingertips are facing down. Palms are on the back of our hips. We'll do a supported back bend. So relaxing our shoulders, letting them roll back, tucking our chin to our chest. We're going to drop our shoulders back and yell up the chimney to the reindeer in the max, send the bags down. So of course Santa's bag comes down with a thump that's full of all sorts of things. And the Grinch's bag comes down empty. So we'll come back up. We'll take a nice big inhale and exhale, coming down. Imagining the bags are landing at the bottom of the chimney. And then inhale, half forward fold. We'll check out again, gently turning our head to the right. See if anybody's watching. Again to the left. See if anyone's watching. And then send the crown of our head down toward the floor, looking between our legs. See if anyone's behind us. Nope, we're good. So sweeping our hands all the way up overhead, palms come together. Bring our, do our supported side stretches. So we bring our right hand down and slide it down toward our right knee, creating a candy cane. So as Santa's putting the candy canes on the tree, he puts one there. Inhale, coming back up, hands come back together. Left hand comes down, sliding it down toward the knee, creating a candy cane on the other side. Santa puts more on the tree, and then coming back up. And then as soon as Santa puts it on the tree, right hand comes down, sliding it down to our right knee, creating a candy cane. The Grinch takes the candy canes off the tree. So back up as we come off the tree, and then on the other side, sliding down, and then back up again. And then we're going to bring our bags back down to the ground. So hands come back down, bending your knees as you go, supporting your lower back. Inhale, half forward fold, hands comes to the shin. Again, as all this hanging of candy canes are going on, we're just going to check around, gently turning our head to the right, and then back, and then turning it to the left, and back, see if anyone's watching, and then dropping our crown of our head down toward the ground, looking between our legs, see if anyone's watching there. Nope, we're good. And then take big sweep of our hands up overhead, and then coming up onto our tippy toes for palm tree. We're going to be Santa placing ornaments all around the palm tree. As he puts them on, just kind of wiggle your hands while you're standing up on your tippy toes. And then come back down, lowering your heels to the mat. And then sweeping your hands all the way up again, coming back up onto your tippy toes. Just as quickly as Santa puts the ornaments on, the Grinch takes them off. So this time we're taking them off, putting them in the bag. And then coming back down our heels, sweeping our hands up. We're going to come back down, putting them all into the bag. Hands come to the mat, knees are bent, forward fold, and then half forward fold, hands to our shins. Again, we're going to look to the side, right side, and then look to the left side, and then back, and then send the crown of our head down. And oh my gosh, what do we see behind us as we sweep our hands all the way up overhead? Palms come together, palms come to heart center. It's little Cindy Lou Who. She's found us, both Santa and the Grinch, in her living room, putting on and taking off ornaments and candy canes. And instead of being upset, Cindy Lou Who suggests, let's all do the 12 days of Christmas yoga. So this is going to start the next part of the last part. We're going to do the 12 days of Christmas yoga, and I'm going to change my mat to face you. Excuse me while I get set up here for a moment. So here we go. I'm going to try and do this slowly this year. So do get winded as well. So on the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. So for the partridge in a pear tree, we're gonna come into tree pose. And I suggest just bringing the inner part of your leg, your foot rather, to the lower part, the calf of your leg instead all the way up. And you can do the ankle as well. So foot on the mat, heel on your ankle or on your shin. Your hands will come together in prayer pose, interlace your fingers, and the partridge will be your hands fluttering, your fingers fluttering. You can see that. So on the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 turtle doves. Turtle doves, we're gonna be in mountain pose. Interlace our fingers behind us. So that's yoga lock. We're gonna slide our hands up our spine to create wings. So the 2 turtle doves will be fluttering like that. 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 3rd day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 3 French hens. And I suggest starting with your strongest leg, mine's my right. We're gonna go into eagle pose. So crossing your other leg and then crossing your arms and then squatting down. 3 French hens. 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 4th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 4 calling birds. For the calling birds, we're gonna do warrior 3 with airplane arms and fly them. So again, with your stronger leg, I would suggest using that, keeping a little bend in it, sending your left leg out and sending your arms into airplane. And we'll flap those for 4 calling birds. And then without touching down, come into eagle pose. 3 French hens. 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 5 golden rings coming out of air. So the golden rings, we're just gonna do a big sweep with our arms coming into a circle and coming up over our head. Just like what we do right before we do forward fold. 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 6th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 6 geese a-laying. So we're just gonna come down into a squat, keeping our knees straight ahead, coming onto the balls of our feet. And that's gonna be our 6 geese a-laying. If you're adventurous, you can bring your arms up and do some wings, but having your hands down is fine. 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 7th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 7 swans a-swimming. So come down in that squat, placing our hands on the mat, extending our feet to plank, coming down to the mat. We're going to do full locust. So we're going to extend our hands out front instead of out back, lifting our hands up, feet up, and swim with our hands and our feet. 7 swans a swimming. And then 6 geese a laying, bringing your hands back. We're going to come back to tabletop, tucking our toes under, coming to the squat. 6 geese a laying. 5 golden rings. 4 calling birds. 3 French hens. 2 turtle doves. And a partridge in a pear tree. On the 8th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 8. I'm gonna take a breath here. 8 maids a milking. So we're gonna come back down again into the squat, and this time come into tabletop. And with 8 maids a milking, we're gonna do the emphasis on the cow. So we're gonna round our back, exhaling, and then inhaling, coming into cow position, and with that, we're gonna move. So back to cat, rounding the back, exhaling, inhaling, moo. Actually, it's probably an exhale. Inhale, round the back. And exhale, moo. Inhale, round the back. Coming into cow, moo. One more time, rounding the back for cat. Exhale, moo for cow. 8 maids a milking. 7 swans a swimming, coming down to the mat. And then swimming with our hands. You probably can't see me, but anyway. Full locust, hands out front. Swimming and kicking your feet. 7 swans a swimming. And then walking your hands all the way back, coming into a squat. 6 geese a laying. 5 golden rings. 4 calling birds. 3 French hens. 2 turtle doves. And a partridge in a pear tree. On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 9 ladies dancing. So this one you can do your best dancer pose imitation, or if you want to do the full one, you grab your toes in your inner part of your foot, and then probably I do it sideways. Grab your foot, inner part of your toes, and then extend your foot a hand up for dancer pose, or any variation that works for you. 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a milking, back to tabletop. We'll do a few moos for our cow pose. Moo. Rounding the back for cat. Coming back to cow, moo. Rounding the back for cat. Moo for cow. And then 7 swans a swimming, coming all the way down to the mat. Sending your hands out in front, feet back, kicking in full locust. 7 swans a swimming. And then bring your hands underneath, coming back up. Walking our hands back, tucking our toes under. 6 geese a laying. 5 golden rings. 4 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in the pear tree. On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 10 lords a leaping. Well, lords a leaping, what we're going to do is our joy breath, our breath of joy, and they come up onto our tippy toes at the end. So if you remember breath of joy is inhale, 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 and then we'll come up onto our tippy toes. So that's the Lord a leaping. So inhale, inhale, inhale up onto your toes, and then down. One last time, inhale, inhale, inhale. 10 lords a leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a milking. Coming down. Moo. Rounding our back, coming in back to cow. Moo. Rounding for cat. Coming back to cow. Moo. Rounding our back. Coming back to cow. Moo. 8 maids a milking. Then coming down to the mat. Full locust. Hands out front. Feet out back. Kicking. 7 swans a swimming. Then bringing your hands back to the mat, back to tabletop, walking your hands back into a squat. 6 geese a laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 11th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 11 pipers piping. So we're going to come into warrior 1. Just bring 1 foot back, coming into a lunge. So in my case, my right foot's back, my left knee is the lunge. Left knee's over the left ankle. Right foot is back. And you may want to bring your right foot out just a little bit so it's in a different track. Come into that nice lunge. Bring your hands up. 11 pipers piping. And then come back to mountain pose for 10 lords leaping, that breath of joy. Inhale, inhale, inhale up onto your toes. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, inhale, inhale. 10 lords a leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a milking. Coming back down. Moo. 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 7 swans a swimming. All the way down, kicking your feet, full locust. 6 geese a laying. Come back, cobra, walking your hands back. Coming up onto your toes to a squat. 6 geese a laying. 5 golden rings. 4 calling birds. 3 French hens. 2 turtle doves. And a partridge in the pear tree. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 drummers drumming. So we're going to come into chair pose. Feet are about hip width apart. And bring our hips down toward the mat. Make sure our knees do not extend beyond our toes. Come into chair pose and then do our drum. 12 drummers drumming. Then back up, back to warrior one. Come into that nice lunge position, bringing your hands up. 11 pipers piping. Back to mountain. 10 lords a leaping. Inhale, inhale, inhale up, leaping up. 9 ladies dancing. And then 8 maids of milking, coming back down. Moo. Rounding the back, moo. Rounding the back, moo. 7 swans are swimming. Coming all the way down, full locust. Swimming with your hands and your feet. And then bring your hands back to under your shoulders. Cobra, back to tabletop. Tuck your toes under, walk back into a squat. 6 geese a-laying. 5 golden rings. 4 calling birds. 3 French hens. 2 turtle doves. And a partridge in a pear tree. Well done, everyone. Whew. So, for our last thing, we'll just bring our feet to the edges of the mat, pinky toes on the edge, heels are tucked in about 45 degrees. Then we'll just come into a wide-legged squat, coming all the way down, and just release the tension in our back for a moment. If you'd like, you can bring your hands down toward the mat, opening your legs a little further, creating a little bit more stretch. And then bring our sit bones down to the mat. And we'll roll down to the mat. Again, you can do your best snowball, tucking your knees in and just rolling back. And we'll do a nice tight snowball, rock back and forth, rolling our snowball. And then sending the feet down to the bottom of the mat, preparing for Shavasana, well-earned Shavasana. Feet come to the corners of your mat, let them just relax. Take some deep inhales and deep exhales through your mouth. On the exhale, just let your body relax into the mat. For today's poem, I have a poem by E. Cummings titled Little Tree. Little tree, little silent Christmas tree, you are so little. You are more like a flower. Who found you in the green forest? And were you very sorry to come away? See, I will comfort you because you smell so sweetly. I will kiss your cool bark and hug you safe and tight, just as your mother would, only don't be afraid. Look, the spangles that slept all year in a dark box, dreaming of being taken out and allowed to shine. The balls, the chains, red and gold, the fluffy threads. Put up your little arms and I'll give them all to you to hold. Every finger shall have its ring, and there won't be a single place dark or unhappy. Then when you're quite dressed, you'll stand in the window for everyone to see, and how they'll stare. Oh, but you'll be very proud. And my little sister and I will take hands, and looking up at our beautiful tree, we'll dance and sing, Noel, Noel.